Ben Rodgers-Wilson is riding around the world on a push bike. Currently in Perm. Where's Perm, you ask? Well, I happen to know because I've got it written on my screen. It's in Russia. Perm is in Russia. Good morning, Ben Rodgers-Wilson.
Good morning, Red.
Do they have bike lanes in Russia?
No, they don't. They don't even have shoulders on the roads, so it's a risky place to ride a bike.
But you don't have to wear a helmet, I'm guessing.
No, you don't. That's by choice, and probably a smart thing to wear.
I'm thinking if you're on a bike by yourself, riding around the world, you'd need to have some way of carrying provisions. Do you have the basket at the front?
No, I don't have a basket, but I've got about 6 bags attached to my bike, 7 in winter, which carries everything I need.
Are they like saddlebags like you'd get on a horse or maybe a motorbike?
Yeah, exactly. Bicycle ones, but basically, I've got 2 front panniers, 2 rear panniers. I've got a bag on my rack, another one on my handlebar, and it adds up to quite a bit.
Has anybody? Where did you start? You're in Russia now. What's your route been up till now?
Well, I started from Federation Square in Melbourne in December 2006, and then I cycled up the east coast of Australia, and then hitched a lift on a series of yachts, 4 yachts, over the top end to Darwin and then up through Indonesia. And then I cycled from Singapore to Shanghai, got a ferry across to Osaka, and then travelled up to the north of Japan, at which point I ran out of money, so I ended up spending 3.5 years in Japan saving money. And then from there I headed due north to Sakhalin, the Russian Far East, and cycled through there in winter, last winter, and then China, Mongolia, and back into Russia. So I'm heading to Europe at the moment.
That's really quite an endeavour. I'm guessing you've got gears on the bike.
I do, yes. Yeah.
And has anybody at any stage along your journey asked you for a dink?
No, they haven't.
So you had to stop.
I need a tandem for that.
Yeah, a tandem, not a bad idea. Very good bikes, tandems. Makes it a lot easier. You had to stop for 3 years to earn some more money in Japan. What did you do to earn a living in Japan? Taught English, I bet.
Yeah, I taught English. I worked in the very north of Japan, in Hokkaido. So I actually worked in basically a very small fishing village, and taught English up there at the high schools and junior high schools in the region.
I wonder is it one of those things that is now universal, global, that wherever you go in the world, people want to learn English?
Yeah, it's having English as a first language is very useful if you're a world traveller, because it means you can get work in most places.
Yeah.
I think so.
Do you have any other languages?
I speak Japanese and Spanish, but those, I probably need to practice to pick them up again.
Well, given that you're riding through Russia at the moment, and I'm not the expert on this, but my understanding is in Russia they don't necessarily speak Japanese or Spanish. What are the most basic phrases you need to ride a bike through Russia?
Well, food, types of food. I need to explain, where I'm staying. Like I'm sleeping in a tent, which is palatka in Russian. If I go to a cafe, like roadside cafes, then I can order some dishes. But very basic communication is the best that I can manage at the moment.
Right. Do you think, you say you speak Spanish and obviously English, Spanish and Japanese.
Japanese.
How do you reckon you'd go travelling the world as a mime artist? Would that help?
As a what, sorry?
Mime, M-I-M-E. Do you think you could mime your way around the world just by making gestures indicating what it was you wanted? Would that be useful?
You could. I think an actor would be better at that. I prefer drawing.
Okay,
I use a notepad, so I draw a lot.
Yeah.
And I also have what I call the magic letter, which is a letter when I enter a new country.
Yeah.
I'll get someone that I meet that can speak English to write a letter which basically explains who I am, where I come from, where I'm going, and what I'm doing.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And I have that on my bike with my map, so anyone can read that and get a picture of, well, it answers the basic questions that people ask.
I can't help thinking, you left in 2006. At the rate you're going, you won't be back here till about, the middle of this decade. That'd be right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that would be optimistic.
Simple question, why? Why are you doing it?
You know, to be honest, I don't think I really had any reason. When I came up with the idea, I wanted to go on a big adventure. And that was the biggest adventure that I could think of.
That's good enough for me. That's. I consider it completely explained now. I wanted to have an adventure. Ben Rodgers-Wilson, brought to us by his dad, Mike. Yeah. Thank you, Mike.